welcome to Lilybug's Library. My name's Linda, and it's been a minute. So I missed all of you, but it's been a very busy week or so here. A wonderful husband's been on vacation, so we didn't really go out and do a lot of things, but we did have each of the grandchildren over for a sleepover, and we made sushi, and we watched movies and, created some art. And so that part's been a little busy. Certainly no quiet time to actually make a video. So that's why it took me a bit, but I'm back now. So I've got a few that I've been reading. So the first one that we'll talk about is actually an arc from Book Sirens. And this one was so cute. It was called Paws, Claws, and Curses. So it is about, looking for her name. Wasn't that funny? I don't have her name here. Just one second. Rebecca. There we go. Okay, so it's about Rebecca who goes to live with her grandfather, who her family was estranged from because the grandfather and the father apparently didn't get along. So she discovers this grandfather. He invites her to come stay with him, and she decides to go. Her parents have passed away. They were in a car accident, I believe. And so she decides she needs family. So she goes to live with her grandfather, who runs an kind of an, I was going to say an antique shop, but it's more like an artifact shop. So he has things in there from the Egyptian period, from, other periods. And it's really, he's very well known in the town. He's been there a long time with his shop. So, and there's all kinds of other little shops that are also very quirky, kind of along that same stretch. So she goes there and starts working in the shop with him. And it finds out there is this cat statue that has been stolen from her grandfather. So as she's trying to get it back, it turns out that she walks in on a dead body that has been murdered. And so it's up to her, and the statue is smashed, and it's up to her to kind of figure out what's going on, because now she looks like the one who did the murdering. So it's very good. It's I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. Really liked the cozy town and the small town atmosphere of it all. I enjoyed even the police chief and, his questioning and the way he acts towards her. Um, what the reason I got 4 instead of 5 is the sleuth herself. I thought that she was. I mean, in all fairness, she does say that she, has never done anything like that before. So I kind of get that. But there were many times that I just wanted to shake her. And it was like she was missing things that I didn't think she should be missing. And she was just, she was very clueless about some things. And it just irritated me. I mean, I understand they have to be clueless about some things. It's a story and it has to evolve. But she was clueless about a lot of things that I felt were very obvious. But anyway, it was good. The story was good. Like I said, I really liked most of the characters, and I would be interested in reading more. I know it's yes, it's #1 of the Perfect Relic Cozy Mysteries. So I would be interested in reading more from the Perfect Relics ones, but I'm hoping that as the stories go on, that she gets a little brighter. Anyway, so that was that one. And then the next one I read was Meow Means Murder, which was this part of the Forest Cat Cafe Mysteries. And this one was, I believe, the second. I think it's the second one in that series. And it was really good. I just love that Forest Cat Cafe. It's like it's so cute, and Annie the cat, she's greets people and takes them to their seats, and she's just sweet. So I really enjoyed that. Really, they're some of the characters from the first one are back in the second one, and it's really brings in that cozy atmosphere with the neighbors coming in, and you're kind of getting to know them all a little bit more. And it just the mystery was good, and it was interesting because it wasn't something that you would necessarily see. So it was, yeah, it was really good, and I really enjoyed that one, and it was very intriguing. So that one I gave 5 out of 5 stars, and with each mystery, the sleuth also is getting closer to the detective, which is always kind of sweet too. So that one was good, and then the next one I read had nothing to do with pet cozies, although there are pets in it, but it just happened to be what I was listening to on my Audible, and it was the fifth, I believe, in the campers, criminals, and no, bug, no. Anyway, yeah, campers and criminals. I had to think about it. All right, so it was the fifth in that one, and it was by Tanya Kappas, and it was motorhomes, maps, and murder in this one. So in this one, Mae West um, is going about her business, and then there is a reenactment that's planned, like a military reenactment, and so she's trying to help Queenie get that ready, and Queenie's all stressed out about it. And then to top it off, someone that had been arrested and had vowed to avenge themselves by getting escaping and killing the jury, he gets out, and he is seen kind of in that area. So the detective Hank is going crazy trying to figure out how to catch him, and trying to maybe not have this reenactment because it's just more problems. But May, of course, gets caught up in the whole thing. And so it was really good. We learn a lot more about some of the characters, which is nice. And her going to say her mother or her adopted mother. I think it's her adopted mother. Um, is there, and or maybe it was her foster mother. Doesn't matter. Anyway, she is now living at the campground, and so it's you get to know more about her. You get to know more about Queenie, and all the different people that are living there. And of course, things are starting to heat up a little with her and Hank as well. So I still have, I don't know, many of those books to get through, but that was the fifth one. And for that one, I would give it 4 out of 5 stars. So that was good. And then I think I had one more. Oh, yes, the last one I finished was An Scapegoat. So I've been looking forward to reading that one for a while, and it definitely didn't disappoint. So in this one, Callie moves from Boston, I believe, maybe Seattle. I think it might have been Seattle. I have a hard time keeping these places in my head. Anyway, she moves from there to Bob White Hollow, New Hampshire, where she lives with her great aunt and uncle. And she really thinks the world of them. They're very sweet. She didn't have them in her life before. She just kind of they were discovered, and so she's living with them on their farm, and she decides to start a goat yoga business, and they said that it was okay for her to do that. So that's fine. She gets a bunch of goats, including one called Bugsy. So all the other goats she gets for goat yoga are all baby goats. And which, what do you do once the goats grow up? I mean, you'd have to buy more baby goats. I mean, not that that's a bad thing, but I just thought that's not really sustainable after a while, is it? Anyway, so she bought all these baby goats for goat yoga, and then the woman that sold them to her said, like, "Oh, Bugsy's so sweet and he's so lovable, and can you buy him too? Because if you don't, he's eventually my husband's gonna say that like he has to go, and not in a good way." So, so she decides to get Bugsy too, and Bugsy's very sweet, but he keeps escaping. Every time you turn around, he's somehow managed to get out of the gate, and she's not even sure how. So she starts this goat yoga, and she's got these 4 women that come for a weekend, and they're turns out they're kind of mean girls. A couple of them don't seem too bad, but a couple of them are just horrendous. Kind of the type that should have grown out of that after they got out of school, but didn't. So once they all get settled in, and they have their chauffeur with them because one of them's a social media influencer, so she's very famous in that way. And so someone ends up dead, and she is trying desperately, Rebecca, yes. No, not Rebecca. Callie. Oh my goodness. This is what happens when you've been away for a week, right? Anyway, Callie is trying desperately to find who killed this person because it affects her business, right? I mean, she's just barely starting this goat yoga thing. These are her first customers, and now one of them's dead. Like that doesn't look good, right? And so she's, kind of investigating and working to figure this out. And the police officer that comes, he at least listens to her and, is kind of, you know, not really getting her help, but at the same time, he's not turning it away either. And then there's a handsome veterinarian who shows up a couple of times, and I think eventually maybe there'll be a relationship with them. But initially, she is really annoyed by him because there are things that she doesn't know about goats. I mean, she's just getting started, she's a city girl, and he'll come up with something that he says, and she doesn't know what he's talking about. So then he's kind of condescending to her, right? Like, I don't know if he means to be, but that's the way she takes it. Anyway, the whole thing was charming. It was um, the farm itself. It's like I would love to live there. It seems like such a sweet place without the murder, of course. But but the goats sounded adorable, and the whole idea of goat yoga, I think, kind of intrigues a lot of us who have never done it. And then Bugsy, was a wonderful character, and even with the people who came, some of them seemed quite nice, some of them not so much. And it was just really well done, and so many suspects, and so many motives, and so you spend a lot of time, just like Callie, kind of going through those and thinking, oh, okay, like could it be this one? Could it be that one? So that was all really interesting. So that one I would definitely give a 5 out of 5, and can't wait to read another one. I'm kind of hoping that the author maybe does a few more on that farm. So fingers crossed, because I really like those characters and I like where it's going. So that's what I read over the past week or so. And, that wasn't too bad. I mean, we kind of got through all of that, and still have, I don't know, a list that I'm going to try to get through before the end of July. I was going to say the end of August. My goodness, I'm trying to get through my summer too quickly here. So I also am still working on the Beaches and Books readathon. Could be finished now for all I know. I haven't really been paying a lot of attention. But so far I've only got two that I haven't managed to do. One was an underwater setting, and I don't think I have anything coming up that's gonna work with that either. And one was a book that made waves in the community. I mean, I guess I could say an escape goat would qualify for that one, because I did hear a lot of buzz about it before I ever read it. So probably just one I'm not going to get, which is the underwater setting. So pretty good. And the other one that I had made myself and have not done anything with this last week, but I can't find a pen either. So this one was the Cozy Mystery Bingo that I got set up. And we were doing pretty good with this. I can also, there's a few that I have not crossed off yet. But one that I can cross off now that I read an escape goat is a pet that's not a cat or dog. So I'll cross that one off. But there's also culinary, crafting cozy, vampire cozy, which I guess for that one would have to be maybe one of the Nancy Warren's books, the Vampire Knitting Club, or is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Because I think that's the only vampire cozy I know. If you know of any other vampire cozies, stick them in the comments, because yeah, I'm interested to hear what those would be, because I don't think I've seen any other ones. So still got a ways to go on that one, but it's also only July, so we're working on it. So anyway, I'm glad to be back with you. If you like the video and you know, want to see more, I would love if you would like and subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified of any new videos, just so you don't miss anything. I just really love doing them, and I have to say I really missed it over this past week. So I would love to hear from you in the comments, even if you just want to leave maybe a goat emoji. That would be great. All right, talk to you soon, friends. Bye bye.